What's going on, guys? Brick Breaks here, and today we're taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Dark of the Moon Bumblebee. Yes, we're finally talking about relevancy. This figure might be like a couple months old now, but I don't care. But before we get into this absolute beauty of a figure, I want to take a quick look at his windowless packaging. It's a retarded idea, Hasbro. But there you got a CGI model of Bumblebee here. That CGI model's wrong. I'm a Bayverse slut, what can I say?
What am I again?
You are a Bayverse slut.
That I am.
Anyway, Studio Series 87 Bumblebee, the Transformers badge, Dark of the Moon. Got the wrong CGI model. Bunch of shit. Dark of the Moon. And the product shots of the figure. And we're done with that. On to the actual figure itself. Getting into the actual figure itself, here it is. This 2011 Camaro alt mode is sexy and beautiful. Getting in on the details themselves, the Chevy logo there in that beautiful gold outline. Whew! Got the headlights deep in there. I don't know how well you guys can see them, but are they blue? No, they're just silver. On the side, you got the outline of the Autobot symbol. And a bunch of panel lines due to the transformation, obviously. The classic Bayverse Bumblebee black striping. And if you look in his windows, you can see some of the robot mode bullshit. The back is just as beautifully detailed as the front with the Chevy logo again. Not painted, I kind of wish it was. And no license plate. I'm sure Toy Hacks has us covered there. I'm not entirely sure if they do. I'm going to have to look into that. Silver rims with gray tires. Look at the bottom. It's the classic Bumblebee undercarriage where you can see his head and a lot of other things. Though cleans up fairly well. Besides, and I don't believe you can turn his head around under there. I haven't tried because I just don't care. Though, otherwise, besides that head, cleans up really nicely. And because the wheels are pinned on, he rolls like a dream. So, size comparison time. Here he is with the ancient Studio Series Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime. I don't have his trailer on me. If I did, it would be attached. But before we get him out of here, look how fucked up that thing is. I'll get reproduction labels someday. So, what the fuck? Typographs instead of actual paint. Dark day in the history of mankind. And so that's basically it for his alt mode. Accessory wise, just the Stinger Blaster. It looks fairly nice, molded in that just dark gray plastic. I mean, it looks like his blaster, it does the job. For your weapon storage, you got these two tabs on the top of the cannon and these two slots in the back of the Camaro. So they just plug in right there, and now Bumblebee has his own hot water heater. It looks retarded. The weapon storage is always appreciated, no matter how retarded it might look. Excuse me. But that's it for the alt mode. Let's get into the meat of this figure, the transformation. So first you're going to want to untab these pieces from the back of the car, but don't even try it. So what I like to do is just open these doors immediately and then untab it by pulling out on the strut and then reattaching it. Does that count as parts forming? If it does, I don't care. Same thing over here. It will just make things a lot easier because these tab in nice and securely. Now we can really get started. Untab these wheels here and just bring them out to the side. Flip this piece down, that's important. Pull out the arms, pop the hood up, and just get it out of the way. Now for the bumper, just swivel these down, angle them, and push them in. Now before you do that, swivel these doors up. Now you can get in there and pull out the arms, and then swivel this piece forward, push that out, and the arm is finished. Same thing to the other side. Push this piece back in, bring this down, and it'll just rest right there. Doesn't securely plug in, but it does the job. Things do like to collide here at the top. We'll get into that when we get to articulation. Split the legs. Bring this piece out. Untab this piece. Bring the foot up and just pull this whole section out while clearing this piece. And then just bring everything down until it clicks. Swivel the shin guard down. Take this window, fold it in, push in the foot, bring it up, and this tiny tab will go into that tiny slot right there to secure it in place. I just want to fold this fender against the leg, swivel that around, and the same thing over here. There you go. Swivel his waist around, and his lower body is finished. Now, to tidy up this clusterfuck, fold this piece in and fold it again, and it'll just rest in its own chamber, just in there. Bring these parts down to replicate the 4-door winged look. And there is Bumblebee in his robot mode. Now, honestly, focus, motherfucker. This is the best Studio Series Bumblebee, or just best Bayverse Bumblebee in general, that I own. He looks beautiful. Not perfect, he does have a couple issues, though he is amazing. Getting in close on his head, that's Bayverse Bumblebee. This head is missing a couple things. One, the Autobot symbol, which I don't mind too much, but it'd be nice if it was there. Second, why are his eyes so fucking tiny? He had big, beady bug eyes in Dark of the Moon. Though luckily, if you switch this head out with the one from the Last Night Deluxe Bumblebee, the Wave 3 version, not the Age of Extinction repaint, it'll make him a little more film accurate. You can see he's got the big chest and kind of replicated this piece, the parts that come out from under his torso and wrap around. As some of you might remember, in Dark of the Moon, Bumblebee was jacked, and they pulled that off here. Would have been nice if they put some silver paint in there. Going around. It's Dark of the Moon Bumblebee. And what I love about this versus the Revenge of the Fallen Studio Series Bumblebee is the darker gray. Because the Revenge of the Fallen version uses a lighter gray and then more orangey yellow. I absolutely hate the way that figure looks, and I prefer this along with the 07 version, because this looks more like the 07 version, which I absolutely love and hope to own someday. Side profile, he cleans up really well compared to the Studio Series clunker Bumblebee. And the back, in a clean back. Would be nice if we could get some masterpiece level engineering where this all just compresses to fill out the torso. What can you do? Yeah, this thing looks incredible. articulation-wise is where I have a couple problems. Now the head is on a ball joint, so it can, every ball joint can be a swivel. He looks up not that far, and I don't know why. I would have loved it if he could look up further. Looks down, not really. And you don't really get any side-to-side movement. Now, the shoulders is where my articulation gripes fall. Because due to the shape of them, and because these the parts that hold the wheels don't angle back at all, it restricts shoulder movements. They can swivel, though they will collide with that part, and it can move out like that, though it can't. Like you're restricted for a lot of the poses you'd want it for some of the poses you want to get them in. What are you gonna do? A ball joint for the elbow, 90-degree bend. Every ball joint, no wrist swivel, which is a standard with Bay Bumblebees. And just movie Bumblebees in general. Waist swivel. Just pretend that didn't happen. Hips are on a ball joint. They can kick really far. Leg moves back that far just due to the backpack. And of course, you know there's a beautiful spread. Swivel at the knee. And if you move the shin guard forward, you get something that few Bay Bumblebees can claim to have. Ankle pivot! That is a beautiful ankle pivot. The posability is fantastic in some areas, but really lacking in others. Though despite the limited shoulder movement, you can still get him into some cool poses. Now if we just bring back this Stinger Blaster, there's a peg right there. Just plugs into his hand. Doesn't have to be removed. Don't have to pluck off the whole forearm. One of my gripes with the Clunker Bumblebee. As you guys can see, he looks excellent wielding this thing. Just looks like he's about to fuck yo shit up. Let's just straighten him out here. For some size comparisons. Here he is with the Studio Series Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime. Let me slide him over here. And if we just pull this back, don't they look beautiful with one another? Oh, this brings back so many memories because I haven't reviewed a Studio Series figure in so long. Jesus. The years really are just slipping through my fingers, aren't they? Anyway, and here he is with my previous review, my 3D printed quick shadow / brick breaks. And as you can see, she's about the size of a Deluxe, which I'm cool with. And in case y'all are wondering, I just have quick shadow chilling there 24/7 on my desk. And the last thing to talk about with this figure is the backdrop. I already know what y'all are going to say, that I forgot to include the backdrops in the previous Studio Series reviews. I'm not going to bother showing them at all. We're just going to move on. But the box insert just slides out, and you get this backdrop here with the bridge where Optimus and Sentinel fought in Chicago. So you can just place them here, and this opens up beautiful display options. Like, if we just get it fully in frame, that is cinematic. That is cinema right there. And on the backdrop, you get Transformers badge, Autobot symbol, Studio Series 87, and the Dark of the Moon logo right there. Now, I do not have the space for these backdrops, so I'm just going to put it back in the box. Now, overall, would I recommend this figure? Oh, hell yeah. This is the perfect Bumblebee for any Transformers 3 fan, which I am, so I am obviously in love with this thing. And it just belongs on a shelf with your other Studio Series Darker the Moon figures. That's going to wrap up our review today. So, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, turn on notifications, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at BrickBreaksOfficial, and I will see y'all in the next video. But until then, peace. So for the next review, we have another big boy. Can we please stop the big boy train, please?